Right. Let's go back to the trading the pick thing. Come on, they're keeping one, right? Maybe 4 might be in play, but there's no way they're moving out of 1. Do we think?
Go ahead.
I don't think they will move out of 1 because the quarterback issue has been such a glaring hole for so long, as you know, Andrew. And Hugh Jackson's attitude right now is, I need at least 2.
Quarterbacks.
2 quarterbacks.
Veteran and the rookie, perhaps.
They will go after a veteran, I'm almost positive, get somebody that they think can play right now. They will probably use that number 1 pick on a quarterback, assuming they end up liking one of these guys as much as I believe they will. And then they'll still have – I think if John Dorsey is right to solicit calls and listen, but he could do some things with that 4th pick too if they get that quarterback at 1.
And I think it also depends if there's a quarterback taken at 2 as well. Is there going to be a run on quarterbacks? Do people think that they have to get ahead of the Broncos at 5 or the Jets at 6 to get the guy they want?
Well, that's a good question, but to go back to your first question, John Dorsey, from my time in watching him in Kansas City, is very much about the best available player, and Saquon Barkley is an option there at number 1 and the quarterback at 4 does seem like a possibility to me.
Interesting. You think they might flip it?
Very much a possibility, because if you're thinking about Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen's the kind of quarterback who I think John Dorsey could fall in love with, because you just saw how he fell in love with Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City a year ago, a big-armed, big upside player. He's going to have options at quarterback at 4 regardless. And so it wouldn't surprise me if he went with Barkley first.
I say don't get cute. Figure out the one guy you want and take him, make him your guy. And, listen, there are as these things tend to play out, more and more teams start talking themselves into 1 or more quarterback. They're so hard to get, and you're in this position. You hope it'll be a unique position for the Browns. Maybe it hasn't been, but you think we're going to get fired if we're picking here again soon. This is our chance. And so, yes, there are many guys, but I believe, you look at a Sam Darnold, it's going to be hard for me to imagine them finding enough flaws where they don't say, we could take him, for example, at 1.
Well, I'll let you be Daniel Jeremiah, and I'll be Charles Davis.
Okay.
Or Bucky Brooks and Daniel Jeremiah.
I
don't
like
know if there's.
We both win.
We both win, exactly. We
cool.
both improve. But I would say, from what I've seen and what I've read, I don't think there's that big a difference between Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen, and Josh Allen to say, okay, let's get this guy at 1. I think they're pretty much whatever flavor you want, you can get it. But it's not like Peyton Manning versus Ryan Leaf here. I think you're getting a pretty competent option regardless of what you choose.
Do we agree here that the likelihood of Kirk Cousins choosing the Browns, or even for that matter, the Browns going hard at Kirk Cousins, the likelihood is very small?
I believe it's small.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, because that would be the one thing that changes everything there. It's just hypothetically. And again, none of us really think this is going to happen. Let's say they do get Cousins somehow, some way. Then you're thinking Barkley 1 and whomever at 4.
If they're going to take a wild swing, I think it would be for Drew Brees. That's where you take the swing.
A shorter term deal, obviously.
Would you like $40 million to play for us this season?
But why do that?
I'm not saying they will,
okay.
but if you're going to take the swing, take the former Super Bowl MVP, future Hall of Famer, who just played one of the most incredible playoff second halves I've seen.
But you're talking about a future Hall of Famer who went 7-9 for 3 straight years with a bad defense and not much support.
And now he has the piece.
Is Charles Davis this negative? Is Bucky Brooks this negative? Darn you, Jeff.
Right. Can we put up on the screen like their new names?
Daniel Jeremiah's gone. What's that?
I said we should put up on the screen like your new names.
Exactly.
Make that.
I don't think people. I think
Yeah.
they might believe it with him. I don't think I'm going to be able to sell the DJ.
A couple of things here about the veteran quarterback. I did actually ask John Dorsey during that presser, are you signing a veteran quarterback March 14th? And he sidestepped the question and said I'm all for acquiring good players for the Cleveland Browns. Really no timetable, as you heard there, for Joe Thomas. Ian reporting yesterday he thinks it's more likely Thomas comes back. You're making a face.
I don't know, man.
He seemed to have lost a little weight in Minneapolis.
I think he's wrestling with it, but I have nothing to report on it, and I know Joe very well. My instincts tell me, he may be leaning against.
Okay.